And then there was one left right here from San Francisco. Please help me welcome the co-founder and chief product officer of Butlr, Jiani Zeng. Oh, wow.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jiani Zeng, co-founder and chief product officer of Butlr. Today, I want to invite you to explore how AI reveals hidden patterns in human movement, creating a healthier and more sustainable world. Our mission is simple. We want to build the most scalable, privacy-first people sensing platform, transforming how spaces respond to people. This tiny wireless sensor in my hand can be installed within seconds, helping businesses to make smarter decisions like managing real estate, enhancing energy efficiency and safety. So how do we do this? It's pretty simple. We use heat. We sense only heat. Our technology uses thermal data to track people movement, identifying people location, occupancy, and even their body postures without capturing any sensitive information. During the past few years, we've deployed over 20,000 sensors, which can cover more than 40 million square feet. By the way, that's 20 times the size of the Moscone Center where we are right now. So why Butlr? Let's start with the technology you already know and take a look through their eyes. Cameras with computer vision see everything, including who you are, what are you doing, and even if you sneak a corgi into a non-pet-friendly zone. They label and profile everything. While PR motion sensors, like the ones turning on and off your lights, often leave you in the dark while you are reading, or even worse, while you are sitting on the toilet. Here's what Butlr senses during the same day. So corgi comes in, we know it's not a human, because our algorithm filters out false signatures like small animals. We use extremely low resolution, non-RGB thermal data to track people movement, and also detect motionless people through body temperature. And that's it. Just temperature readings, ensuring privacy at the hardware level. So what happens when we scale this technology? Buildings are the largest user interface with 7 billion daily users, but they lack the smart infrastructure to reach their full potential. Data is the new gold. Butlr is the shovel, paving a way to a greener and smarter future. Let's take a look at this real-world example. This is an office in San Francisco. People come to the office, have meetings before heading to lunch. But after 1:30 p.m., it becomes an empty office. You might think things will go back to normal post-pandemic, but how many actually spend the same amount of time in the office as before? Hybrid working is a permanent reality, and global companies, they need real data, not assumptions, to make leasing decisions which can save them millions of dollars per year. Apart from cost saving, Butlr is on a bigger mission to cut down carbon emissions from 6 tons per person to 2.5 tons per person by 2050. Commercial buildings are vastly underutilized, with the actual space per person double the design. By optimizing hybrid working and cut down footprint, we can cut the number down to 2.51 tons per person. With real-time occupancy data and integrated with demand control ventilation system, we can trim it further to 2.23 tons per person. And with smart cleaning and traffic-based maintenance, we cut another 0.1 tons per person by 2050. What if we don't have to wait till 2050 to see a real impact? What if we can save the lives of the ones you love right now? That's why we introduced Butlr Care last year, an ambient monitoring platform for modern senior living and home care with a strong focus on privacy and proactive safety. Apart from location data and movement, we also track poses. So our system detects subtle changes like if someone lying down in unusual spots, send instant alert to caretakers for quicker responses. And in addition to real-time alert, we also collect key health indicators like moving speed, bathroom frequency, and also the time taken to stand from chairs. And developing algorithms to understand risks and helping elderly. I believe no technology can change the world if it's not scalable and accessible to everyone. That's why since 2 years ago, when we first released our first product, our annual recurring revenue has grown 25 times. By end of 2026, our plan is to deploy 100,000 sensors covering more than 200 million square feet. And I hope one day you'll see Butlr in every single building. Thank you.
All right, Jiani. Very interesting, very interesting. Okay, Edward, what'd you think?
It's really interesting. I mean, you touched on the things I haven't thought about. I think, can you lean a little into why I mean, I totally get why this is different from cameras. I get why it's different from motion sensors. What is this really something that does not exist in the current landscape of all the various, we go into airports, we see heat monitoring, stuff like that. Is your idea that heat-related monitoring has really only been deployed in highly specific niche ways, and that it's a much more effective, omnipresent monitoring?
That's a very good question. So I think everyone sees those heat image to radial temperature, but that sensor needs to be very close to human body to read the temperature. And our sensor, the end goal is not to read temperature, it's to read where people are. And they need to be installed in the ceiling at like 3-4 meters height and understand where they are. And a number of sensors need to work together to not lose people when someone enters the whole space. So our company is the first company using thermal data to check people location, like in such a large scale, and the first ever wireless sensor made because of our technology.
How much does each sensor cost?
It depends if you're a direct customer or like channel partners. It's a platform as a service model, so we will charge you yearly subscription fee, but I cannot tell you the cost now.
But how does that cost compare to the alternatives? Because I agree with Edward, right? Doing this isn't the hard part, right? There's a lot of ways to track movement. And you can put in as many cameras as you want. Now you can feed that into AI. It can tell you almost anything about what it sees. You know, privacy issues aside, who's sick, who's not sick, etc. So price is important, right? Because you're competing against a variety of alternatives. What sets you apart and what makes you more cost effective?
So if we're looking at competitors like camera solutions, they have hardware costs. They have computing costs, which needs to process millions of pixels per frame. For our sensors, only under 100 pixels thermal data to process. And the hardware itself is already much cheaper than
So what you're saying is you do the processing right on the sensor?
The data, sorry, what's that question?
So so on your sensor that's collecting all the data, right? So you put a bunch of sensors in a building, and that's how you monitor everything, right?
That's how we get the data.
Right, but you're saying a lot of the data is processed right in the sensor as opposed to being sent to the cloud?
Now we do cloud computing for now because we have lightweight data. We can process the data in the cloud.
Okay.
And our cost is much cheaper than competitors because competitors need to wire the sensor. They need to process a lot of data, and also their hardware is much more.
So you're not wired, you're using a mesh network?
Yeah, we're using mesh network.
Okay, so what you're saying is kind of like a Bluetooth connection, so you're very lightweight, so you can aggregate all the different data and process it.
We invented our own mesh network. It's similar to Bluetooth, but this is an extremely low power, real-time mesh network.
I'm real involved, with mesh networks. So, okay, got it.
Okay, great. Dunya.
Jiani, talk a little bit about the customer feedback that you've gotten already and how you're thinking about your product roadmap as smart buildings evolve.
So I think, for our company, a lot of time we would apply for those RFPs from big companies. They would call for like entrance for occupancy sensors, we would apply, and they would evaluate like 20 different solutions for occupancy sensors or people sensors. And normally we are always like the top 3 or 2 companies selected because we are wireless, we are privacy friendly, and the cost is extremely cheaper comparing to competitors' costs. And I think customer likes the fact that we value privacy so much, like in the hardware, like a lot of camera solutions, they said they're privacy friendly because they don't upload images to the cloud, they do edge computing. But our sensor is like privacy friendly by hardware, meaning we cannot capture any sensitive information. And that's very important because even if you're a beauty manager, you say yes to this camera solution, it's privacy friendly. One day our employees see a camera in the ceiling, they will ask someone to get it off. That happens a lot to a lot of customers. So Butlr, we really want to be part of the infrastructure of future smart building with a very privacy-friendly technology.
Mara.
We're at Dreamforce, and I know Agentforce is going to revolutionize sales, automation, but how are you balancing the two sides of your business? Because you're selling to quite different categories and different buyers.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So fundamentally, our technology collects movement data. And by movement data, I mean people location and how long they spend in each spot and the timestamps. And we can translate those data into either occupancy, either people postures, and dwell time, how long they spend in each spot. And I would say for us, we provide the data to customers, and our customers do the integration, like do they want to calculate utilization of the space? Do they want to automate like care stuff? So we are API-first company. We sell data to the customer, and for us, it's pretty lightweight operations. And we leave the integration part to the customer and also our integrators.
Okay, great job, Jiani. Good job. All right, go ahead. Can you take a seat down?